it's crazy. So that launched you into worldwide fandom. You know, I know it was a crazy year for many reasons, but professionally speaking, what has this all been like for you?
Well, but it's as you told Tommy, it was, when the movie was released on Netflix, I've just, I went to sleep with 48,000 followers, even less or something like that, and I woke up with 2.2 millions. And actually, it was weird because my phone was cracking and it didn't open. My Instagram didn't open. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So to disinstall and then reinstall, and then I got so many messages from the people, and it was totally insane because, as always, I went out from my house for a coffee, and I've noticed that all the people were looking at me, and it was weird. Then I remember, okay, the movie went out, so.
Wow, so everything changed right away. And I love your story. I think your story is very inspiring because it shows that everything can change in an instant. And I know before you booked this starring role in the movie, you were thinking if acting was right for you, and you were maybe considering leaving the industry and doing something else because you were going through some tough times. So talk to me about what was going on in your life before you got this film.
See, Tommy, here in Italy is not like in the American industry. That's why a lot of guys here in Italy, they have the American dream. They don't really believe in, for example, here, if you're a good-looking guy, they think that you're probably not a good actor, so they don't believe in you. So after a lot of years that I was trying to be an actor, and I had a really deep passion for this job, I was starting to ask myself if it was the right job for me, although I had and I still have a big passion for it. So I went through a very hard moment, even because in that period, like in 2018, I've just, I broke up with my ex-wife. So I went and I'm not ashamed, I'm telling you, into a very, very deep depression, because I've lost my kids as well. And, a lot of big problem happened in that moment. So I was, I've just, cancel all of my plans that I had and started a new life as a normal guy,
Right, right. And you were even working in a different job, right? Were you working at a gardening company, or where were you working?
I was a company. It was like, it was a company for gardening. And once I was outside and I was searching for a job, and actually it's the first time that before gardening, is the first interview that I say that before gardening, I used to sell, how do you say that? Hoover?
So what?
Do you know that robots that you use to clean the floor?
Oh, yeah, like a vacuum.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I was doing was this before. Then I got into a guy that told me, like, listen, there's this job available if you want to do it, just try it. So I went there and I started without even a contract. It was a hard moment, but I respect myself to went there and work because I had a life. I had to life to keep move on.
Yeah, you were putting in the work, and then you get this opportunity to join 365 Days, and it still took you a minute to figure out, is this what you want to do? So what ultimately made you say, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot again, I'm going to do the film? What kind of pushed you to do it?
Because it was crazy, because like I've told my agent back at the time, I told her, listen, don't send me casting anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with this. So after 1 year and a half, she called me and she was like, listen, I don't want to do this thing, but we just received this offer from Poland. And what she was talking about was like, I don't want to do it. But listen to me. She's like, but listen to me. They don't want to make a casting. They just want you. because they've actually went through internet, and they were looking for this kind of character, and you were perfect for it. Uh, and I was like, I don't even have money to go in Poland. Yeah. So I said no, but in the same night, same afternoon, the director got my number, and he called me from Poland, and is like, listen, I don't know you, but I think I need you. And what happened is that the day after, I didn't go to work. I just took this little bag, and I went to Poland. And when I arrived there, there was a contract of Netflix for 3 years, of 365 days. And like, what the hell is going on? Like, it was like a dream. Like, what? So I came back. They give me the script. I came back. I called the work, and I'm like, hey, I think that I'm not gonna come in the gardening for a couple of months because I have to shoot something. And then I didn't come back anymore.
Yeah, then your entire life changed. Thank God you took that ticket and went to have that meeting. You never know what can happen. And that's why I love this story. I think it just shows that you have to take a chance. And
yeah, but Tommy, let me tell you something. Now I have a house with a garden, and I don't need a garden. I don't need a gardener.
There you go. See, it's funny how that works out. Good for you, man. And I know that acting is something you fell in love with young. I think I read 11, 12 years old. So that's young. A lot of people sometimes search their whole life to find what they love. So what was it about this world that attracted you to wanting to be an actor?
Listen, I don't really know, because I started acting when I was, for example, like 5, 6 years old, in the little theater of my little town. So I've always had a kind of interest on this situation, and but I thought, like, I decided to become an actor in 2001, when there was the first Harry Potter. Do you remember the first Harry Potter? Yeah.
Of course, of course.
So I was watching that movie, and I'm like, I want to live in a magical world. I want to do that. But of course, in the real life, we can't live in a magical world. And the only way that you have to live in a magical world is through cinema, because in the cinema you can do and be whatever you want, whenever you want. So I started being so fascinating about this job, but the real passion for the acting arrived later. At the beginning, I just wanted to go to Mars, on the moon, or being a killer, serial killer. But when I started to figure it out that I had the passion for the acting, it was like a couple of years later, when I was on stage in the theater, and I had to, face a character to discover his psychology, the way he acts, the way he moves, the way, that was so fascinating to me.
Well, good for you. I think a lot of your fans watching are very happy you discovered that love for acting. And also music. We have to talk music. It's huge for you. And I know that the soundtrack for 365 Days was largely your music. So how did that happen? It's big enough that you booked the leading role.
Yeah, it was completely, everything was a surprise in this year of my life, because, okay, I was taken for the movie, and okay, that's it. But once I was having dinner with the director, and it was like, what would you like to do, beside of acting? And, I like to sing, and, oh, wow, come on, do you have something to show me? I'm like, oh yeah, I've wrote a song that I have it here on my phone. So I made them listen Darkroom, and he fall in love with the song, and he's like, this is gonna be in the movie. And I'm like, okay. I thought that night it was just drunk, But in the same time, the next day he came to me and he's like, Mickey, where's the song? Like, wow, this guy is not drunk anymore, he really wants it. So we put the song, and then it was like, Tommy, it was like thing after thing, Okay, we did the first song, but then I came out with another idea. So I thought, like, what if I just take, the feeling between Massimo and Laura, and I write a song about it? And it was born Hard for Me. And then what if I do the action part? And it was born Watch Me Burn. So it just came by itself, you know.
That's amazing. And again, I just love that you're somebody, there's a common theme here, and you're somebody who takes the chance and takes the opportunity that you don't let fear dictate your life, right? You got back into acting, you took that ticket and went to that meeting. You got asked about your music, you said, "Here's my music." You didn't say, "Oh, let me send it later, it's not perfect," or "I don't know." You said, "Here it is. Listen, this is what I got."
You
And I
know,
think that's really cool.
yeah, I could have just, you know, could have just don't like the music. I had nothing to lose back at the time. So why not? Like, I mean, I really think that people should always listen. I don't really, I'm not, I don't want to be like a moralist because I don't like to be a moralist. But, you know, I really think that people, even in the darkness, the most dark moment of their life, they should always believe in themselves, because inside someone, inside people, there always something that can explode anytime, you know.
Yeah, that's something we all have to remember. You know, that self-belief, and you're a testament to it. It can lead you to amazing things. And we have to talk about that album. I have so many messages sent to me about how much people have been streaming your music during this year of COVID and
It was
quarantine. And
great.
it's been helping them. It's been helping them get through these really tough times that the world has faced over the last year. And particularly hard for me, and Feel It have received individually each over 20 million streams and more. I mean, that's insane numbers. So what
Yeah.
is your creative process like when it comes to your music? How do you figure out what you're going to say, what you're going to talk about, what you're going to sound like? Tell me about it.
Um, to be honest, I don't really have an answer for this because it just comes by itself. I mean, I'm just, I can get inspired in any time. You know, when I just grab a guitar, when I'm tired, for example, I just want to chill. I just grab a guitar and start playing. But then maybe I like something, and then oh, okay, this, and then this, and then I start working again because I like something. So uh, I don't really have a way to work. You know, I've just start like most of the song that I write. I just go in the studio without having no idea of what I'm going to do. But just by a riff, it comes. You know, it just build up after a minute by minute. Like it just build up a song, and it's the most beautiful uh, one of the most beautiful moment of of my working career is this creating a song. I love it. I love it.
Wow, it's really cool that you are a songwriter for one, but you also talk about things that are, you know, personal and real, and your songs tell stories, right? They're you. It's actually you coming through with the music, and I think I've seen a lot of your fans write that they feel so connected to you through your music. And I know that all your songs are special to you, but do any have an extra special feeling when you think about them that you hold close to your heart?
Well, there's for sure, yeah. There's the song that I've wrote for my dad, and it's called Dad, by the way. That is every time I listen that song, it gives me something. So I'm gonna tell you something about this song. It's crazy because um, sometimes I'm with my son Marcus, who has 6 years old, and every time I'm with him and we listen the song, he starts crying without no reason.
Wow.
Without no reason. Every time I ask him, like, Marcus, why do you cry? Why do you cry? Like, I mean, what happened to you? And he's like, I don't know, Dad. I feel I can control myself, and you know, and this comes out, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. But like, Daddy, you don't have to feel, you know, ashamed of this. This is something crazy, you know. So every time, like, till the point that I can't listen that anymore with my son, because every time I listen that, it's just start crying.
Wow. Wow. So that's clearly special for both of you.
Yeah, yeah. I was like making that song. It was like, you know, doing an exercise for the pain that I had inside, because for many years I didn't speak about him anymore. So like after a lot of years that I wasn't speaking about him anymore because it was stuck inside me, I couldn't talk about my dad. Like I just went to the studio, and the only way that I had to speak about them and again was through something, through music, you know. And it was amazing because now I can talk about my dad without any problem. But before the song, I couldn't. I didn't want it to. I didn't feel to. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the power of music, and that's why a lot of your fans say your music helps them in so many ways, and it keeps them going, which I think is such a beautiful thing.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure we're gonna.
I think when people tells me, I've got so many messages on Instagram here that your music helped me. I feel so good. I
Yeah.
feel, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're gonna hear more music from you anytime soon, or any hints of what's to come.
Well, we are in 2021, so yeah, this year you're gonna have to expect the next album. Yeah, yeah, I'm working so hard on the next album, and it's going to be like a bomb, a bomb. And wait the people to listen. So I'm also working on a song which is really important to me, that is going to be in the second part of the movie, 365 Days, part 2.
Good for you. All right, we look forward to that. And I want to switch to fashion too, because you're a force in the fashion world. You've been the face of so many different luxury brands. And what I love is you're also creatively involved in the brands. You don't just show up and get a picture taken and leave. Like, you're somebody who likes to be involved. So how has that whole experience been working?
No, so for me, you have to know something about me. Like, I don't know how to modeling at all. So when they first called me to be the face of a brand, like I was like, but I don't know anything about fashion. I don't know anything about brand stuff. Like, I just want to, you know, act and make my music, and that's it.
Right.
You're perfect. Let's do it. So I told them I don't know how to walk, you know, on the
The
walk.
runway.
Yeah. So they're like, no, you don't have to do that. So every time I'm, you know, shooting a campaign, I have someone next to me that tells me what to do, because I'm a total idiot in front of the camera when I do picture. I don't know how to, like, I feel, because trust me, I have some people that they tell me what to do in front of the camera when I shoot, because I don't know how to pose at all.
Well, you're pulling it off, so you're doing a good job. Whatever's going on behind the scenes, you're pulling it off. But congratulations on all of that. That's a really cool thing to be a part of.
But actually, after that, if I can tell you, I went more into brands, because I thought, like, why shouldn't I learn more about brands? And I started making my research, and actually that's why I've opened my personal brand, and it's called, if you go on Instagram, it's called Aurum Roma, and I make kimonos and you know, underwear and beachwear for girls. So
Very cool. And I think I heard a rumor of a fragrance eventually.
yeah, we are working on this situation as well. After launching Aurum Roma, I decided to be part of another, like, to create something else, and I'm working on my first line of perfumes.
Very cool. Good for you, man. That's amazing. Okay. What's that?
Very soon it's going to be launched. Sorry.
Ooh, all right. That's a good tease. I know your audience is very eagerly awaiting for that day to come. Speaking of them, I have some great fan questions, and these were the most popular questions I received from them. So I chose about 4 or 5 that I'm going to ask you. And the first one is there any artist besides Sam Smith that you would want to collaborate with, male and female?
Well, of course, there's so many great artists in this world, and of course, yes. I mean, if I think about, for example, a girl, comes straight away in my head. Like I really like the way Bebe Rexha makes his music. She's a great artist, and she's a great artist. And I really like her voice and the way she build up songs and the rhythm that she has. When we talk about, for example, guys, if you're not, we're not talking about Sam Smith. We're talking about. Uh, I personally really like John Legend, and I think he's one of the greatest artists that this world have. His voice, the way he play piano, and it's just amazing, you know. So actually, Bebe Rexha and John Legend are in the same world, which is the music, but in the same time, two different kind of music.
Yeah, I love that.
This means that I don't have a favorite kind of music. I just like music. I just love music.
Right, right. You, and that's what's so cool about you. You can kind of sing in any style, any way, and that's why people are so connected to the music you put out. I love it. We look forward to those collaborations coming soon. I'm going to put it out there for you.
I mean, I'm not Mariah Carey, you know, but
Well, listen, everyone's got their niche, and you've got yours, and it's awesome. The second most popular question: what would people be most surprised to know about you?
about me.
Yeah, something you don't maybe reveal a lot.
Probably that yesterday night I've burned a pasta I was cooking.
You burned an Italian burned his pasta.
An Italian guy burning a pasta isn't a shame thing. You have to. No, surprised about me. Well, if I think about myself, I don't know what to answer, to be honest. To be honest, because I've always trying to be myself in front of the camera. For example, with you, now we're making an interview, an amazing interview, and I always trying to be myself and not just put a mask of, you know, any character I play, or trying to be in someone else, because I really feel that we have to be ourselves, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
I
I love
really
that.
answer this.
I like that. You put it all out there, so people what they see is what they get.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, like there's when we see someone, you know, is known or famous, like there's many times they think that I'm Massimo, but I'm totally different from Massimo.
Right, you are not your character.
Oh no, you know, so it's beautiful to dream about, but sometimes people they should understand that, you know, actors they have their own life. They're not
Yeah.
the character, but they have their own life.
Yes,
Although
100%.
although I became very good friend with Massimo, you know.
Of course, of course. Two more fan questions, and this is a good segue. What was your favorite memory from working on that film?
The my favorite memory it was actually when I started understanding who I had in front of me. Like I had someone that I never thought I was gonna play. It was a big challenge for me. Try to think about someone who has issues in his head, talking about, you know, aggressivity and all this kind of things, which is totally far from me. It was a challenge to you know to play someone who's so totally different from you. That was one of the greatest memory that I had, you know, so going through the script. The second one is the amazing friendship that I had with Anna Maria. So we became like brother and sister. So we're just amazing every day, helping each other on set and filming. It was just a huge family between each other. So yeah, it was amazing. I actually can't wait to see them all again.
Yeah, that must be a good feeling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, amazing. And the last fan question, and this came up all the time, what are your favorite things about the Italian culture?
Favorite thing? Oh, I really like the fact that we are a very old culture. So we have very huge and strong and so fascinating history. You know, so you know the whole Romans. You know, and I really like the thing that in every corner of Italy, there's something that talks about history. So you can see, like even in the small town that, for example, in Florence or in Sicily, if you go in the very small town of 13 people, there's something that happened there that I really like that.
Yeah, Italy's incredible. I'm Italian. I'm half Italian, and I have family in a town, Dragoni, outside of Naples.
Oh, where exactly?
Dragoni, it's outside of Naples,
Dragoni, sì, sì, sì.
and it's we my husband and I, we love Rome, we love Capri, we love the Amalfi Coast. It's such a magical place.
You speak Italian too.
What's that?
You should speak Italian too.
I should, but my great grandparents didn't pass it down to my grandparents because where they settled in New Jersey, there were big fights breaking out between the Irish and the Italian. So for their safety, they didn't want people to know that they were Italian. So it never got passed down in my family. And in school, I took Spanish my whole life, but I do want to learn Italian.
A lot of years, like you actually lose the languages, of course.
Yes, but it's on my bucket list to learn one day. So we shall see. We shall see. Before I let you go, you're such an accomplished person. You've had a booming career that people dream of. You've gone for your goals. You've had many ups. Like all of us, you've had many downs as well. What is a piece of advice that you would tell your younger self, or that you would give your sons, that you wish maybe you knew a little bit earlier in your life?
I mean, the most amazing, the most biggest advice that I can tell my son or my young me is just no matter what are your dream in life, but just have one, have a passion, because when you don't have a passion, you don't really have a way, you don't really know your goal. You're just living. You're just waking up in the morning, and you don't know what to do, and you don't know what to do in your life. So no matter what is the passion, you can just be the most, you just want to be the most great gardener in this world, or you just want to be the greatest actor in the world. No matter what is your passion, but just have one.
I love that. And put your all into it. I love that so much. And before we go, to all your fans watching today who have stood by your side and cheered you on and are continuing to wrap you in so much love, what do you want to say to them?
I just, we, with this technology we have, the lucky to talk with each other, with a lot of people. So I would love to hug them all. But first of all, we're, in front of the screen, and there's Corona time and we cannot. But I'm sure that one day I will meet all my fans, like even during a concert, so I really, really want to thanks all my fans for their support, because without them, there's no me. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. My man, it has been such a pleasure hanging out with you today. Thank you for joining the show.
Really good luck. I wish you good luck with your career. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Same to you, and until we meet again, be well.
Thank you, Tommy.
Bye-bye.
Big kiss. Bye.